We're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby Pickleball Podcast.
Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 105th Dinking Around.
Oh, yeah, your boys are back in action. It's been quite a while, but we're back.
That's right. We really do apologize for the 4-month delay since our last episode. There's been things that have happened in both of our lives that have made this a bit challenging. We're not going to go into details on that. So stop asking because we're not going to tell you, so shut your mouths. I'm just kidding. I probably shouldn't tell our listeners to shut their mouths, huh, Webby?
Just shut up. Everybody that's tuning in, shut up. But thank you for tuning in.
Yes, we love you, but please shut your mouth.
I will say I was surprised at how many people did reach out to me to say, hey, what's going on with the podcast? Are you guys still doing the podcast? So that was good to hear that people actually did miss us. That surprised me that people actually missed us.
I agree. I'm surprised too. Just like I'm surprised we were able to pull this off. Half of my live streaming setup was in boxes, and I was scrambling at the last minute to be able to put this all together. That's why I have these weird headphones and this weird cable. It's like a Frankenstein system right now.
Yeah, and we talked about doing a new podcast today. We've had it in the works for a couple of weeks, but something happened this week to where we were like, all right, we have to do the podcast tonight. We're going to have a special guest. You guys will see later who we're talking about. In fact, you probably already know because if you saw the thumbnail, then you'll know who our guest is, but it's going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. And I want to give a big shout out to our friends over at Valère Pickleball. I got to tell you guys, we love Valère. We have been playing with Valère paddles even before we developed this partnership with them. To me, I think that they have a paddle for every single game out there. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced player, there's a paddle for you. Webby, what have you been playing with lately?
So I actually have a little bit of a bone to pick with Valère because every time I lock in and pick a favorite paddle, they send me a new one, and then that becomes my new favorite paddle. In fact, my new favorite paddle is right here behind me, and this is the V21F. In fact, this is what Dylan Frazier has been playing with lately. I didn't think I was going to like this because it's a 14 millimeter. I'm typically a 16 millimeter guy, but man, this paddle has been excellent. I love the power it gives me, and I feel like it has elevated my singles game. I'm loving it.
Well, Dylan Thomas Frazier plays with that, so that means that paddle is DTF.
That's right.
And if you want to get your hands on a paddle that is DTF for you, you can go to Valère.com. You can use coupon code PB for life to get what, Webby?
You're going to get yourself 10% off your order, and you're also going to show your boys some support in the process. So thank you very much.
That's right. Valère, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Go check it out, Valère.com, coupon code PB for life.
That's right. But right now, Eddie, I have a very important question for you.
What in the world is in that drink? What you got in that drink?
Well, Webby, when I was actually up in Michigan, I think I was at a local Meijer in Jenison, Michigan. Shout out to our friends in Grand Rapids. They had the Founders All Day IPA variety packs that had like 3 or 4 different ones. So I know they had like a lemon lime one, a West Coast one. But I got to tell you, I'm always just a big fan of Founders All Day IPA, Session IPA, citrus, crisp, and refreshing. And I would agree, it's lower alcohol. You can have a few more of these throughout the day than you normally would with a regular IPA. And I thoroughly enjoy them.
Nice pick. I absolutely love that beer. It's one of my favorites. And in fact, I had that at my wedding, the wedding that you were the best man in. And I absolutely love that drink.
Yeah, me too. But Webby, what do you got today?
Well, speaking of variety packs, I also got a variety pack. This is from the fine folks at Bell's Brewery, and this is called Change of Heart IPA. I like how they have a bunch of different variants of Two Hearted these days. This one is their West Coast style IPA, Change of Heart.
Yeah, they have the Two Hearted IPA. They have the Who Farted IPA.
And they have the Canadian IPA.
That's right. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Cheers to everybody tuning in. It's been far too long.
It has. If you're having a drink too, throw it down in the comments below. Let us know what you're sipping on as you're watching this, unless it's like in the morning or on your drive to work. Probably shouldn't have anything then at that point.
Right. Good call. But one thing before we move on, I do actually want to give a quick shout out to the fine folks at Wicked Pickle in Westland, Michigan. I have been spending a lot of time there. It is a great new facility here in Southeast Michigan. In fact, Eddie and I had a chance to play together in person there over the summer. What did you think of that facility?
Dude, it's incredible. First of all, the people there are great. The facility is incredible. I love the colors. I love the lighting. I love the distances between courts. I love the distances behind the baseline for the courts. I like the whole vibe, the whole feel of the place. And now they sell alcoholic beverages, which is just a little bit of a cherry on top.
Yep, it was perfect timing when you got there because they had just gotten their liquor license. So we were able to drink some tasty beverages. We played some ping pong, played some pickleball. It was a great time.
It certainly was. Thank you to our friends over at Wicked Pickle. If you're ever in the Detroit area, they're in Westland, Michigan. Check them out. You will not be disappointed.
That's right. And I also hope I am not disappointed when I ask you, does everybody know what time it is?
Now it's time for Memes of the Week. Yeah!
That's right. Memes of the Week, the hottest segment in all of Pickleball podcast. I know you guys have missed it. I've missed it. And Webby, what meme do you got for us this week?
This is a great one. This is from an account I just recently discovered. It's called Low Key on Instagram. That's LOKEYYY_. And this is called My Confidence versus My Coordination.
That is so good. I love that scene too with all the guys, nodding their head to you and the music. It's such a great build-up. That was great, Webby.
Yeah.
Good find.
And I feel like we can all relate to that too. There's always that like really sweet lob shot that somebody hits to you. They didn't get deep enough, so it's like just a lob right up above you. Perfect chance to slam it. You've got all the time in the world to think about how you're going to smash that ball and win that point, and then it goes into the net.
Webby, let's say you're playing an average of, like, when you go to the courts, what do you usually play? Like maybe 5 or 6 games per night that you go out?
Yeah, I'd say about 6, 7 matches.
6, 7.
Isn't that what the kids are saying these days? 6, 7?
It is. It's weird. I don't understand it, but
yeah, I still don't get it.
yeah, but it's fun to say. So let's round up to 8, right? So let's say you go out and you play 8. How many matches is that situation going to happen to you where you just completely whiff an overhead, but you're so ready, you're like, oh, I got this. You got it lined up perfectly, and then how often does that happen?
I would say probably at least once a game. Like it's crazy how frequent that happens to me. It's disgusting how frequent.
Yeah, I definitely find that it happens to me. Yeah, probably an average of maybe every other game, especially if I'm playing outside and there's sun. I feel like it just completely throws me off too. So I can definitely relate to that, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Low key, keep up the great content. But what about you, Eddie? What kind of a meme you got for us this week?
Well, Webby, it wouldn't be dinking around with Eddie and Webby if I didn't have a meme from our friends over at Memes of Pickleball. Do you follow any of the pro players on social media, Webby?
I do. I follow a lot of them.
Have you noticed there's a new family member to the Waters family? That is the family of Anna Lee and Lee Waters and Steve Waters.
As a matter of fact, I have. It's a furry friend.
Yes. Anna Lee Waters did get a new puppy. His name is Archer. He's a cute little fur ball. He survived his first tournament. But there's a little bit of a meme out there for Memes of Pickleball about this. And this one is all the other dogs from the same pet store seeing Anna Lee Waters' new dog walking around with a Gucci collar and a Fendi leash, touring the country in an RV. And it says an RV. It's a freaking beautiful mansion on wheels that they drive.
Yo, look right there. Your friend is trying to say hi to you. You good?
That dog has no idea how lucky he is to be a part of that family, to have the love and support from the Waters family, to go around to all these pickleball events, to hang out in their bus at these events. Like, that dog's going to have one heck of a great life. Thank you again to our friends over at Memes of Pickleball. You guys never disappoint. We always love your content. So thank you for that. And if you tuning in right now have a meme that you want us to be able to review, go ahead and throw it down in the comments below. And we will definitely do that in our next episode, assuming it's good. Assuming that it's good.
That's right. I'm actually pretty excited for this segment going forward because I'm part of a GroupMe chat that is strictly pickleball memes. So, I'm going to have so many great suggestions coming my way. But if you have any, let us know and maybe we'll choose yours.
That's right. And Webby, I think it's time.
Now it's time for Topics of the Week.
That's right. Topics of the week. Usually, Eddie and I each bring a topic to discuss, but there is something so big and so important going on in the world of pickleball that we need to devote the show to this topic. So, Eddie, what's going on?
Well, Webby used two words there that I think are critical, big and important. There have been a lot of media sources in the pickleball space that I consider to be big, important amongst the ranks of Eddie and Webby. You've got memes of pickleball. You've got, king of the court, I guess, right? Yeah. Just kidding. We love you guys. You got Pickle Pod. But I have to say the biggest and most important that has come into the pickleball space in the last few years is none other than Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball. That is hosted by our friend Chris Cali. Chris, welcome to the show. So happy to have you on with us.
Yo, let's go. Crazy intro. The most important, I don't know. I feel like you're just sucking up to me. What do you want from me? That was very nice. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, man. And I mean it. Like, when I think back to, a few years ago, and I'm like, God, what does pickleball need? Memes of Pickleball came in, which I think was absolutely critical to be able to get exposure, get a different audience looking into pickleball. But then your recaps of these professional pickleball events, I feel like took it to the next level. I don't know, Webby. To me, I felt like I was so happy to know that if I missed some of the action during these 8 to 10 hour live streams every single day of every weekend for PPA events and then MLP, it was nice to know that I could watch a 1 hour show that was entertaining, was informative, and that was Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's a lot of times where I'm just way too busy to tune into an entire tournament, especially with how frequently the tournaments are going on. So I love the fact that I could tune in to the Sorry Not Sorry podcast, hear a recap, have it actually be entertaining and funny. And honestly, there were a lot of times where I would listen to the podcast and then I would want to see what he's talking about. So I would tune in. So it's not like I would only watch his recap. Sometimes your recap would cause me to tune in to the replay of these tournaments. So I do think you have one of the most important pieces of pickleball content out there.
Oh, well, I appreciate you saying that. And I mean, I guess it didn't really always start as me let me help people catch up on this. I just wanted to say my piece, and it eventually evolved. And I keep hearing that so much. Everybody's like, yo, literally, I don't have time. I'm playing. Because pickleball is the one unique sport where everybody plays, more so than they watch the pro stuff.
Right.
Nobody's going out and some people play basketball, but there's way more people that watch basketball than play. Nobody just goes out and play football. Maybe you're in a flag football league occasionally. Baseball, maybe you play softball, you know what I mean? But pickleball is the complete opposite of that. So everybody's playing on the weekends when these tournaments are happening. So as things went along and I started showing more highlights, I was like, yo, I kind of have a responsibility here almost. And it was very motivating for me. I'm like, I got to do it for the people. How are they going to know what happened? So that it's cool to hear you guys say that. And yeah, that's been a lot of the feedback, especially last 48 hours. That's what I've been hearing a lot of.
Well, we definitely want to get into what's going down. I know you've been pretty public about some of the things, and we definitely want to kind of talk with you about how it went down, what's going down. Before we do that, though, I just want to ask, how much time does an episode take for you to edit and post and watch, right? You not only have to watch the footage, then you have to edit it down to the best parts. Some of these streams are 6 hours at a time? I mean, it's got to be an insane amount of time that you've put into these episodes.
Yeah, well, let's see. I mean, it's so I'll say this. take away the watching part, it's about 12 hours, I would say, give or take an hour of like me filming myself reacting to stuff and then, editing afterwards. So that alone is like 12 hours. Then when you consider all the watching, I mean, I'm spending all day Saturday watching, spending all day Sunday watching, Thursday, Friday, every now and then a Wednesday, even a Tuesday occasionally. I'm watching while I'm at work. So it's like, I get to kind of do both. So I don't know, you might not count that, but like I am listening to it in the background and watching it. So it's a lot of time spent, consuming pickleball and putting all this stuff out there. But never have I had a moment where I'm like, this is too much. If anything, especially recently, which is why this is like on a personal level, very disappointing. It's like, I've been really thinking about putting in more time and energy, as surprising as that might sound, to try to like just keep improving what I'm doing. But then the last 3 weeks, I've had 0 hours put into putting out an episode. So yeah, all of a sudden I had a lot more free time on my hands.
Yeah, and just in case anybody's been living under a rock, can you just give us a high-level kind of summary of what exactly is going on? What has happened the past 3 weeks that you're referring to?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it is important to kind of give just some context. And if anybody wants, they could go see. I did a whole live stream. It's 2 hours long, but like for the first hour, I pretty much gave the full history of like everything that has gone through. I started back in early 2023. The end of 2023, I got hit with copyright strike. I tried to reach out to some people. Thankfully, after like 2 months in February 2024, I got approval. And the important part with that is they specifically told me they do not want to control what I say, and they do think that I'm good for the sport. So they were in full support. And trust me, I said a lot. Like if you watch what I do now and you're like, ooh, like he's critical, or he's, sometimes people say I'm negative or mean. I don't think I'm negative or mean. But I'm not going to hold back punches sometimes if I want to crack a joke at somebody. If you think it's bad now, it was a little bit more heavy-handed back in the day. So anyways, my point is they approved knowing that. Fast forward August 2024, I got a cease and desist saying I couldn't use the footage. Turns out it was all a misunderstanding. They thought I was making fun of an exhibition event in one of my tweets. Turns out I was actually just making fun of Colin Johns. I just was like cracking jokes about him. Once they found that out, they said, okay, fine, we'll let you come back. We didn't realize that. So that just goes to show UPA does not really care that I'm like critical of players or making fun of players. That's never been a reason why they've like prevented me from doing what I'm doing. Here we are now. It's November, or well, it was October 2025, and I get an email saying, hey, our terms of our agreement are done and we don't want to renew. We're going to part ways. And that was just really disappointing because I have no idea why. And, I've tried to see if I could talk to them. They don't want to talk. Like they specifically said they don't want to talk about it. It's done. It's final. So I'm like, okay. And it's just incredibly disappointing because it's like, I don't know, like if they have boundaries, let me know where they are. I feel like I'm playing, the game with the boats. What's it called? Where you can't see the other boat. You have to like guess like F2.
Battleship. Yep.
Battleship. I feel like I'm playing Battleship. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. All of a sudden I get an email. It's like your battleship has been sunk. And you're like, oh my gosh. So I have no idea what it is that I did. I guess my overall conclusion is that I think I pissed someone off, someone with clearly a lot of power. And I think the UPA was put in a spot where they had to say, okay, this guy who is important to our organization, this powerful person, is saying they don't like what Sorry Not Sorry is doing. And we kind of think of it as like something good for the sport. We're okay with it. But what do we do here? And, I don't blame Zane Navratil at all. But, I think a lot of people are correctly pointing out that he now does recaps. It's kind of funny, actually. Like he has himself in the bottom right corner, just like I do. And he actually has a post that says he's in collaboration with the PPA. So clearly the PPA wants to collaborate with him. They're working with him. So I don't think that that's like Zane didn't do any of this. Zane did nothing wrong. He's just already doing recaps. He went through his own censorship stuff too, as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But it seems like they went, okay, we're getting this pressure. We do have this guy Zane who's doing recaps, and he's not really like putting us in a tough spot. Let's just say we're going to part ways with Sorry Not Sorry, and we could still have the recaps. We're just going to have somebody else do it. So that's kind of the situation we're in right now. And really, I've been trying to see if I could rally the troops to get them to change their mind. You know, at the end of the day, it's their footage, right? Like it's their call, whether they want to let me use it, you know, and anything like that. But I'm just trying to say, hey, I think there's a case to make that it would be a good move for you guys to let me use it, you know? So it's kind of where I'm at now.
I think it's a legitimate case too, because as Webby had mentioned, right? Not only is it helping the sport, making it fun, while also informative, but it's also probably getting people to want to watch these live streams to look for the things that they know that you're going to comment on in the next episode. So it's kind of silly that they're doing this. If I can share a little bit, some of the issues that we had at Close Call Replay are a little bit. You're kind of bringing back some PTSD of dealing
flashbacks.
with the UPA, right?
PTSD.
Right, and it was a similar situation where getting people to respond to you and communicate with you was absolutely horrible. There's a culture set from the very top, and I do think it's immediately with Connor Pardo, and then goes right down the list of people don't feel that it's important to be able to get back to you. It's like it's not that big of a deal, and I don't know. The company that Webby still works for, that I used to work for, if you don't return voicemails or phone calls in an acceptable amount of time, or emails, I should say, you get fired. So I come from a world to where not responding to people is not an option. And that's carried over into my personal life, my professional life outside of that company that I'm talking about, in my business. So when I'm working with people and they don't feel that it's a priority to get back to people that they're partnering with, that are helping grow their business, in our case, providing a value of line challenges that was desperately needed and wanted for everyone across the board, it sucks. So I feel for you, man. And I think it's especially just kind of a slap in the face of, all right, we had this arrangement. You guys are no longer happy with that arrangement, which is your prerogative. Then tell me why. Is there something we can work out? And it seems like you were not given that professional courtesy that I think everybody deserves.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly it. I'm just super bummed out. You know, honestly, these last 3 weeks, I've like genuinely been sad. I'm like, what do I do with my free time? Like, I'm like, all right, I guess I play more pickleball. But man, I mean, it's like I've even like just taken a step back from watching pickleball because I'm just like, I'm so disappointed. I see stuff. I'm like, man, I can't even like talk about this. It like bums me out. So on a personal level, it feels bad to not get told, but also I feel like, you know, the people watching deserve an answer too, because they've had something ripped out from them, you know, and I just see so many people saying, they're like, it's been terrible not having somebody like recap this in a way that we want to watch. And I see people say like they watch it with their wife, they watch it with their dad. So people are like connecting with their loved ones over this, whatever, not to like pat myself on the back too much. But I think at the very least, like people deserve an answer. And honestly, even just in a practical sense, you would think that it'd be smart of them to give a reason, because now everybody's jumping to conclusions. Oh, they just want money. Oh, they just want views. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, you know, everybody's saying everything. You know, it's kind of funny. You bring up Close Call Replay. That was my first thought when I saw Zane's stuff. I'm like, they close call replayed me. they took the model and they said, perfect, we'll do that, but our own version. It's literally the same exact story. And so whatever, I mean, you know, as far as like not getting back to me, I'm terrible with communication. As I like sat down, I realized I didn't even respond to Webby. He sent me like a very nice text and was sharing his AI music that he makes. And I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to respond to him. So like, I can relate to that. Like if that's the case, I get it. It's, you know, if you're a professional business, that's probably not a great idea. But man, to like not even really give me an answer really sucks, you know? And I think the part that bums me out the most, and it's like when I went through what I went through in 2024, August of that year with the cease and desist, it all stemmed from a miscommunication, like a misunderstanding of what I had been trying to say, which is my fault. Like I put something out there and it's misinterpreted. It's not everybody else's job to have to understand what I'm trying to say. That's my job as a person putting out a message. I need to do everything I can do to make sure that that is received the way I intended to be received. So my bad, right? But at the end of the day, it was a misunderstanding. And nobody on their team tried to look into it or tell me or anything like that. And it wasn't until I had somebody who had my back and who was in my corner and said, hey, let me try to talk to them, found that out. Even when he heard it, he was like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of get where they're coming from. And I'm like, yo, wait a minute. That is not what happened at all. Here's what the real story was. And he's like, oh, wait, let me call him back. Immediately fixed the problem. So literally just based off of that experience, it makes me wonder, is the same thing happening here? Like, did somebody get some clip out of context? Did somebody see something that I did and, get the wrong idea? It's possible they didn't. It's possible it was exactly what I intended and they did not like that. I'm open to that too, and hey, I could live with the consequences of that. If you say we're parting ways, it's final and forever because you said or did this, so be it. You know what I mean? Like, I had my reasons for doing what I'm doing and I got to live with that. But man, if I were to find out that this was all based off some misunderstanding, whatever, I could put my feelings aside. That's kind of messed up for everybody that has now going to go like a few weeks without these recaps. And it's just bad for them too. Like, I mean, I don't know how serious people are, but I see people saying, I'm never watching again. Like, first off, Cap, you'll probably watch. Let's be real. But I appreciate the support and you trying to like boycott in my name. Like, thank you for having my back. But whatever, even if like half those people that say it are just true to their word, it's like, man, that's how people feel. And I don't know. It's just a bad look to be approaching it like this. But yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, when UPA screwed over Close Call Replay, I did a personal boycott. I stopped watching the product just because I was so pissed off about it. But then, Chris, you actually caused me to watch more PPA because I would watch your recaps and I'd be like, oh, I got to see this. I want to see like the whole match and stuff like that. So you kind of caused me to watch more PPA after I had a personal boycott. But I think, once again, I think I am going to have a personal boycott here because like this is horrible. I mean, the stuff that you put out there, I looked so forward every week to watching that, and it absolutely caused me to watch more of the actual matches than I would in the past because I don't have the time for it. There's too many tournaments. The live streams are too long. I just don't have the time for it. And going back to what you were saying earlier with all the time that you spent putting it out there, like, I don't think unless somebody has actually dealt with video production or putting content out there, people just think, oh, he posted a 20, 30, 45-minute video. That means he probably spent maybe 45 minutes to an hour putting it out there. That's how long the video is. That's all he did. He puts an hour worth of work every week, and it makes us laugh. It's no big deal. But I'm glad that you talked about how long you actually spend on it because a lot of people don't realize what goes into content.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, like, happy to put in that time. And maybe I'm like wrong for putting that much time. Maybe I don't need to put in that much time. Like, I bet someone could come in and be like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, if you just did this, it would like cut out like 5 hours of your time. I'd be like, oh, my bad. But to me, it's always been worth it. Literally, like, I look, dude, when you have something that takes that long and you're sitting there on like a Saturday night, on a Sunday night, you've had to tell your girlfriend you can't hang out with her. You have to tell your friends you can't hang out with them. I live right near pickleball courts. I hear the clack, 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 and all I want to do is get out there and play, but I can't because I'm locked in here and I got to do this, and maybe it's even like kind of a boring weekend. There's not too much going on. You're like, oh, dude, like, I don't want to do this, but I literally like always like stop. Like, every now and then I'll have those moments and I just like stop and I just think about like how much this is helping people, even if I know it's corny because it's pickleball, whatever, but like it is helping people. And whatever. I don't care that it's pickleball. To me, like, the thing that means a lot is that I see people sending me message that they're watching it with people. They're like, I watched this with my wife. My wife doesn't even play pickleball and she loves this, or like my dad, like some lady sent me like this huge super chat. She's like, this helped strengthen my relationship with my father. You have no idea how much this show means to me. Thank you. What you do. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm just trying to be goofy and like cover like pickleball tournaments. Like, I didn't expect all this, but whatever. Like, I'm glad it's doing something good, and it helps me out selfishly to motivate myself to sometimes get over that hump.
I get it. Going back to the amount of time that you put into this, some of the videos that Webby and I have made that we have like put our heart and our soul into and have spent so much time, they get like 300 views, right? And then a short of us like farting on the pickleball court gets 100,000 TikTok views. Like it's it's crazy sometimes the correlation between that. So yeah, I do think that sometimes you have to step back and say, is it worth it? But once you realize it's more about how much you're contributing and about the process and about the love and the passion, I think it's totally worth it. And the cool thing too is that you always there's always a part of yourself that comes through in these recaps, right? And it's funny, and you're not afraid to push the envelope a little bit, and you're not afraid to kind of dig at some people. Have you said anything that you're like, oh man, maybe that crossed the line, or have you ever given feedback from anyone that was like maybe specific to something that they didn't like, or and maybe it was legitimate, or maybe you just brushed it off as it was nothing? But has that happened to you?
You know, I feel like with the YouTube stuff, not as much, because I think with YouTube you have like a little bit of discretion if you want to watch it or not. Like to watch my show, like you have to like click on it. You know what I mean? It doesn't just like pop up on your feed. But I've had a lot of people give me crap for stuff that I post on like Instagram, whether it's like a meme or like some reel that I have that's a clip from the show, and it like, cause then it just pops up. They didn't even like choose it. It's just there in their face and now they're seeing it. So I, every now and then I'll get some crap. I definitely get like a ton of like negative comments from people. But no, I don't think I've ever, I'm trying to like recall, I don't think I've ever gotten something where somebody's like, hey, I watched your episode and I didn't like what you did there, or anything like that. Like anybody who I'm not speaking super positively about, they probably wouldn't take the time out of their day to watch it. You know what I mean? But definitely on Instagram, that has definitely happened for sure.
So one thing that I've seen a lot of comments about, and I had this thought in my head the first time that you had these copyright issues, and that was, well, aren't you protected under the fair rights use when it comes to stuff like this? But that's another thing, that unless you actually make YouTube content, there's a lot more to it than just abiding by fair rights use and stuff like that. So can you go into a little bit of detail about that, about like why this is actually a big deal, the fact that UPA is kind of restricting your use of their content?
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy because a lot of people keep commenting like, it's fair use, it's fair use. And I appreciate people saying that because they're just trying to help. Like people are just like, hey, did you not know this? And it's like, no, trust me, I've been knowing about this since 2023. I didn't know about it back then, but I learned a lot about what fair use is, and it's two separate discussions, because it's like one side of it is, does what I'm doing fall under fair use? There's some people who would say yes. There's some people who would say no. And I'll tell you what, I hear both sides, and I don't know where I fall. Like I have no idea if it is or if it is not. So that's one part of it. But put that to the side. And now you have to understand how YouTube works. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that what I'm doing is 100% clear-cut, black and white, fair use. I'm still using the footage. It can be heard with the audio. It can be seen with the visual. There are companies out there that the UPA has hired to scan like all of YouTube, essentially, and flag content that is their, that's their property or whatever. So once it scans it, it hits it with a copyright claim. Once that happens, it is literally removed off of YouTube, like immediately. Now, what you can do is you could submit an appeal. You say, hey, YouTube, I think you unfairly flagged my video here. Take a look at it. This has happened to me. I've done that. YouTube, I don't even know if they look at it. I think they just they probably have like a ton going on and not enough employees. So they just scrap it. I've submitted probably close to like 5 to 10 videos to try to get it appealed multiple times, and it does not work. I cannot get it appealed. So perhaps they're looking at it and saying it's not fair use. Perhaps they're not even looking at it at all. Regardless, there's nothing I can do if they don't whitelist me with that company. I can't have the footage playing up on my channel. It's just, unfortunately, the way that it is. So that's how that works. So, I feel bad because people keep trying to help out, and there's this one lady who every video or like anything she could comment on, she's like, "Why do you keep dismissing fair use? Why do you keep dismissing it?" And she keeps trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, no, like you're 100% right. Like I get it. It's just there's nothing I could do. If I wanted to make a claim that what I'm doing is fair use, I would literally have to sue YouTube. Like I can't do that. You know what I mean? Maybe I can. I don't know. But like, that's kind of crazy. Like that would be like a monumental case for like all of sports. Like think about how what that would set as the precedent for NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. Then that says, yeah, anybody could do what this guy is doing. And I'm just like that. There's just no way that's going to happen because what I'm doing, it is not black and white. It is like kind of this gray area. So that's kind of the situation there with that, unfortunately.
It's funny you mentioned that because rewind the clock. Gosh, what is that going on about 3 years now, Webby? And the situation you're talking about, this company that PPA hired went through every YouTube video on their channel and then went through all of YouTube, and any video that had any content that was on their channel was immediately flagged. And this is when I was working at Jigsaw Health. So what that means is every single Jigsaw Health commercial, even an Eddie and Webby commercial that we played on live streams that we did for PPA years ago, that also happened to be videos on our channel, were also flagged. So not only did my personal YouTube channel with Webby get flagged with, I don't know how many videos, Webby, 40 videos, something like that?
Yeah, there were a bunch.
And then at Jigsaw, who I was working for, and I was doing the Tuesday Night Pickleball broadcast, we had over 200 videos get copyright flagged from this company. And I have text messages between me and Connor Pardo and Bryce, whatever the heck his last name is. And I'm like, guys, you got to fix this. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're killing us. And they're like, oh, just go in and dispute every single one. This was a couple hundred videos. And I'm like, no, get your pit bulls that are incorrectly trying to flag our content as yours off our back. And it took about 24 hours and they finally reversed it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there's this sentiment of this is our content. We own it. Nobody can touch it. And by the way, if you guys aired a commercial on our channel, we're also going to come after you. And it's ridiculous. And I feel like that lack of carelessness towards working with people when it comes to content and seeing the value in partnerships and allowing their content to be reviewed, to have satire put against, which are all falls under fair use. I'm not telling you should go after it, but I'm just saying it does. They should see the value in it, and they should go after the people that are blatantly ripping off their content, because I still see on Instagram literally people that will take videos, whether it's from Simone's YouTube channel, whether it's from our YouTube channel, probably from yours too, and pass it off as their own. And that is wrong. But what you're doing is you are adding satire and commentary to comment that, and you're not treating it as your own, which is good for everyone involved. And the fact that they don't see it means that they're morons. I'm not surprised. They'd make a lot of stupid decisions, but this one pushed me over the edge. Not having it.
Yeah. Well, you guys haven't been around since your 100th episode. I'm glad that maybe there's a good thing it happened. It awoke the beast in you guys. So I even wore my PPA shirt just to trigger you guys a little bit more. How about that? Yeah, take that in. Yeah.
Love it.
Blood
is
is
safe
boiling.
space where I don't see the PPA logo anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like this whole incident, it just caused Eddie and Webby to rise from the ashes. Everybody thought we were done. We're back, baby.
Yeah. Well, be careful because they might censor your video since I'm using their logo right now or something, right? Would you be surprised? They're like,
oh, good
who
point.
censored the logo? The AI bot. Take it down.
Yeah, Webby, maybe we should play our commercial during this, the one that sounds
Test
like
it
it's a
out.
pharmaceutical company, so that way they could be like, well, you played your commercial during a live stream on our YouTube channel, so we own your content now.
Right. And I don't think they necessarily intentionally flagged all those commercials as their own, but they did not put priority on trying to rectify what they did wrong. That's the part that pissed me off, because I was part of those chat messages and emails with Connor Pardo, and the way that he handled it was so piss poor. Like, I lost a lot of respect for him because of that.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's what you were saying before, where it's like I don't think they understand the value of content and people making content. I mean, look, we're now in a time where more and more people are chronically online. You're looking at one, me, okay? And I'm telling you right now, like, I'm somebody who used to watch a ton of sports. I would wake up in the morning, watch SportsCenter. Before I went to bed, I'd watch SportsCenter. I'd have it running on the TV as I'm sleeping. Like, sports. That's all I watched. NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, all of it. Even soccer from time to time. I'm watching everything. I have my favorite teams. I would even watch all the matches that were just on. It was all I cared about, right? After a while, I kind of grew up, and somewhere around 2021-ish, I just dropped it all. I'm like, I got too much stuff to do, kind of over it. I don't really want to stay involved anymore. But I will say, as someone who's chronically online, I see clips. People make clips. People push out content about it. It's just in my Twitter algorithm. And Twitter knows, because I like stop and I look at it, because I'm just like trained to like, ooh, football clip. What happened? And now I still have a sense of what's going on, and I might not watch as much as I did, but had it not be for like all these clips, I would never watch anything. Now I could actually I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's the World Series. Let's watch the World Series. Like, I don't really care too much anymore, but like, you know what? I don't know. Let's turn it on. Let's watch. So those like little moments, like that's what keeps you engaged. Same thing for even things outside of sports. Like, I can't even tell you how many things I've, like, even podcasts, it's like you see a clip that just got thrown on your timeline. You're like, oh, that was kind of funny. You see another one. You're like, oh, that was funny. Hey, I've seen those guys before. Where did I see them? I don't know. You see another clip. You're like, oh, I keep seeing these clips. This is like pretty good. And then all of a sudden you start watching. So I think that's like what we're doing, and whatever, we benefit from it too. Like, we get views, whatever. If you got sponsors, you make some money, like, good. You should be incentivized to push all this other stuff that's out there. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just all not as chronically online. They don't understand it. They're like, they're stuck in the days of like TV, it's like, we're not watching TV anymore. All right. We're on the internet. All right. We got Twitter. We got TikTok. We've got all these other things. You got to adjust. And part of the adjustment is like, yo, let us talk about this. Let us show stuff. It literally is helping them. So yeah, it's disappointing.
It's expanding the audience for pickleball. The greater the audience is, the greater that's going to be that they watch UPA events. It seems to just make common sense to rational people like us. But kind of going a little further with that, Chris. So now what? Have you given up completely on Sorry Not Sorry? Are you still hopeful that with enough people rallying behind you that this is something that can happen again? Where are you at with all that?
I actually have a lot of hope. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to, I got to hide my power level here. But I will say I have a lot of people who are supporting what I'm doing. And what's funny? Like, if you go back and watch the live stream, it's no secret because he was there. Brett Mac from the UPA, he was like in the live chat. He gave me like a super chat. He gave me like $3. So like, I don't know, like even the people like at the top level of all this stuff, like I don't think they're against me. It's just like one or maybe like a few people who are applying a lot of pressure. I had somebody reach out to me yesterday that is like the guy you would want to go to bat for you, someone who really understands the importance of this. So I'm hoping that he could push things in the right direction. I mean, there's about 2 weeks now till PPA Lakeland, I think it is Lakeland. And I'm hoping that I can do a recap by then. I'll just say this, that I will not be able to show footage on YouTube. And I'll just say that I will not be able to show footage on YouTube. So that's guaranteed as of things right now. So, and that's about as much as I could promise at this point if things stay the way that they are. And look, and I'm not trying to like ruffle any feathers. I just want them to like all of us to just get back on board. Like I could put all this to the side. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to like hold it over their heads or be mad at them or talk smack about them. It's like if they were to just send me a message, say, hey, we reversed the decision. We got you on another 6 months. That's it. I'd act like the whole thing never happened and we just all move on. So we'll see.
So earlier, you mentioned Zane. I know some people have been calling out Zane and the recaps that he's doing and stuff like that. Earlier today on social media, he did a story and he put, I honestly don't have much to add on the Sorry Not Sorry situation. I think that more creators talking about pickleball is generally good for professional pickleball. I don't know what caused the termination of the relationship between Sorry Not Sorry and UPA, but any insinuation that I had some master plan to get Chris kicked off is just dumb. I've collaborated with Chris in the past and even provided the idea for Hooks of the Week on his podcast. I'm just going to try and make my content better and better, and I appreciate everybody that watches any form of pro pickleball content. And we've been longtime friends of Zane. I know he's been very supportive of us. We've always been very supportive of him, and I know he's very supportive of you too, Chris. So I'm just curious, like if it turns out that PPA and Zane do end up having something going on together that was the cause of all this happening. Maybe Zane didn't even know that this was going to happen, but if it turns out that was the case, how would you feel about that?
Well, I literally just today spoke with Zane on the phone. We talked about all this. Like I could promise you 99% sure he is fully sincere when he says he had no idea what's going on. And I don't think he would. And I mean, what would he know that's going on? Like, he's not the one that's going to them and like, hey, you got to shut this guy down. I'll be your recap guy. Like, that's clearly not what he's doing.
Right.
So, but even if they said to him like, hey, we want you to be like our official recap guy, we're going to have Sorry Not Sorry kind of take a back seat. We don't really like what he's doing. We think you're kind of a better image for us. We're going to give you rights to use the footage. We'll collab with you. Even if they told him that, I don't know. I wouldn't blame him because he's been doing this. Like, he's been doing his recaps. I think he does a great job. I think we're both different flavors. You know, like I think some people like his method. Some people like my method. Some people like both. They might watch both. But I think it's good that we're filling separate demands. And I know he feels the same way. So even if I found out like that he got word of that, you know, it wouldn't really bother me too much because it's not him pushing that. He's just kind of caught in the middle of this. He's like, well, I do content. And here's the thing with it too. Like, to be fair, like this is Zane's career. Like, this is not my career. I have a job. You know what I mean? This is something I do on the side. This is like Zane's actual career. He's a player. And if you're a player, you have a very short window of when your body is like actually able to play. I know pickleball, it's a little bit a bigger window than most other sports, but still, like, you're kind of limited. So you do have to like figure out other ways to make money. He's got a wife. Maybe one day soon he'll want to have like a family. So he's got to think of these things and have long-term plans. So he like is making a good decision for himself to do content. And I think he saw there's like a demand for recaps that are way shorter than what I do, because I get that complaint a lot. It's like, oh, it's too long. I can't watch an hour. He does it like 15 to 25 minutes, and he does it in more of like a neutral way. He's kind of quick paced. There's a big demand for that, and he's filling that demand. That's something that I don't even want to go near. That's not my style. So like, good. I'm glad he's like helping all those people out that want to watch that. But yeah, I mean, like, he's doing what is best for him. And, you know, like I said, even if he knew, like, it wouldn't bother me at all, you know, because it's like, I understand, you know. It's the same thing with UPA. Like, if UPA was like, hey, dude, you said this, and that's like not a good look, like, you know, here's why we're doing what you're doing. There's potential for me to look at that and say, oh, okay, I might not agree, but like, I completely understand. So yeah, I don't know. That's more or less how I feel about it. But he definitely is like working with him. Like, they definitely, like, it's almost certain, and I think he would agree with this, that it's possible, had he not existed, that they'd be like, hey, the value of somebody doing a recap is too strong for us to like pull back on that if I was like the only one doing it, but I'm not. So it kind of gave them this like safe way to exit with me. They're like, okay, well, at least somebody's doing it. So yeah, maybe things would change if he wasn't doing it, but it's not like that's his fault. You know what I mean?
And I regularly watched Zane's recaps and your recaps. I never ever thought that you guys were like competition or anything like that. They were two totally different types of recaps.
Yeah, completely different.
So I don't know. It's I don't understand. I do think there's something deeper. I think it could be more like what you were saying. Somebody got pissed off about something you said and threw a fit and is causing this to happen. That's just my opinion. I don't know anything. I don't have any inside information, but that's the direction I'm leaning towards.
I'm with you, Webby, 100%. But how can you do business and expect to grow your business if you can't communicate with people? If you can't tell them, if your solution to every time that you don't want to have a tough conversation with someone is just to not have it, where do you think that's going to end up? If the people that are running the UPA are cowards and they can't have a conversation with someone about why they don't want to continue to work with them, that's not a good business strategy. That's not a good way to do anything. You have to communicate. You have to respond. You have to get out there in front of it, or else situations like this are going to happen. And maybe that's also what they're looking for, is for podcasts like us to trash them because they'd rather be trashed and viewed than loved and maybe viewed a little bit less.
Yeah, are we giving them too much publicity by talking about it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
right?
yeah,
Like,
good. They're talking about us.
The fact of the matter is that look at some of the decisions that they've made over the years. And I know I'm going off on rants here, but look at some of the decisions they've made with MLP to try and to stoke the drama and try and make it look like these artificial situations are really happening, and putting people in situations. In the posts that they were making on social media highlighting people arguing and bickering professional players, they made their bed, and I think they're sleeping on it. But guys, own up to it. Man up. Stop being cowards. Respond. Provide something. You don't just have to sit there and be like, well, I don't want to deal with it, so I'm not going to. You have a lot of fans and a lot of people who are involved in the sport and a lot of professionals who are counting on you to run a successful business. And you have to respond to people and communicate them if you want to.
Yeah, well, I think part of it is, look, if they had a good reason that, if they had a reason that would cause us to have a reaction that goes, all right, wait, that actually kind of makes a lot of sense. I see why they would do that. They would say it. But I think part of it, and by them not saying anything, we're left to assume that their reason isn't good and that it's a better look for them to not say anything as opposed to giving us the truth of what's going on. Because if they have to reveal the truth, who knows what our reaction is, Like, clearly they think what's happening right now was a better choice than telling us what it actually was. So that's what blows my mind. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know. But Occam's razor, like, what most likely happened is it had to be somebody that I pissed off. So I don't know. It's kind of funny too to think that like some like powerful rich person is like just sitting there like watching me giggle at Colin Johns or something like that. It's like, like, I don't know. I'm just like, come on. He didn't laugh at anything I said. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing that tickled his funny bone. Like, okay. All right. And I get it, whatever. So I am not everybody's cup of tea. Like, I trust me, people tell me. I know people think I'm obnoxious. They hate my laugh. They think I scream too much. I'm too loud. Whatever the criticism is, I get it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's what it is. They're like, we just don't like his personality. Like, it's not about what he said. He's too loud. Let's just get him out of here. So I don't know.
I doubt that's what happened. I think there's something else there. Or I think that it's an organization run by a bunch of cowards who are afraid to have tough conversations, honestly. And I know that it's easy to go down this path of there's, this conspiracy behind it, or there's like all this thought put into it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just these dumbasses running the company that don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation with you. And I swear to God, I mean that. I think that is the most likely answer here.
Yeah. And I like, let's just say that it is someone that got pissed off and made the call, and perhaps like people at UPA don't agree with it. I can understand why they wouldn't want to like talk to me about it, because they're like, yeah, we got a phone call, like, so we're gonna stop you because one person got mad at you, and you said this, you know what I mean? Like they have to like take that side because that's their decision of the business, but personally they might disagree. So I don't know. Yeah, that part, as much as I don't like it, I'm like, maybe that's what's going on and that makes sense. But you would hope that somebody would have a little courage and, hey, at the very least, like if you know what's going on at that level and you don't want to be the one to like reveal what it is because you're getting orders to like keep it secret, I don't know, maybe like leak it out to somebody. You know what I mean? Like maybe just like whisper it to somebody and be like, I don't know, hey, maybe you should tell somebody. So we'll see. I know the Dink reached out to me today and they're writing up a whole article on it. And he was telling me that he's reaching out to like all the top people like Connor Pardo and Chris Patrick, like the lawyer or whatever for UPA, reaching out to Samin. So who knows if they'll respond to it? Who knows if they'll say something? I'm sure it'll be just like some canned garbage. You know what I mean? Like, well, we support content creators and we're looking into it, and just kind of, you know, kick the ball down the field and we'll try to run the clock out on all of it. But yeah, it's unfortunate. And I don't know. It's one of those things where you're like, maybe time will reveal some things about what went down. I'm sure at some point we'll figure it all out. But right now it's weird to be in like the fog of war. Mm-hmm. You're like, what is going on here? Like who's doing what? And that's probably been the toughest part, is to not know.
Well, I hope in the next week or two that this whole episode becomes obsolete because you're back in action and better than ever. So I will gladly have this episode like be meaningless if it means that you and Sorry Not Sorry can thrive and get back to doing what you do.
It would be funny if like before this episode even gets released, I like text you guys. I'm like, yo, we figured it out. And you're like, okay, I guess we'll release. You're like, Chris, can you delay the news of you being back so that way we can have like 1 or 2 days with this episode?
Yeah, let us have 2 days with the episode, then you can make your announcement.
Can you pretend that it's this episode that did it for you? Like, yeah. Right, hey, we saw your Eddie and Weddy appearance, and we just realized we had to give you the footage rights back. Like, you made some great points. We saw how angry Eddie was, and we don't want any part of that. Please just tell him to stay away. We have a family. Yeah.
It angers me. Yeah.
Well, not to toot our own horn though, but we have caused the USAPA to make some changes in the past. So you never know. Maybe the UPA will make some changes because of us too.
Let's go. Yeah. Hell yeah. Making moves. Let's go. Maybe.
Well, so let's talk about it, right? Call to action. What can people do if they're fans of yours out there? What can they do to help at this point?
It's tough because I want to try to stay balanced a little bit. Like I'm not trying to like piss people off and have it make things worse for me. When I went through this last time with the cease and desist, so people were messaging me like, hey, like I went up to Connor Pardo and I gave him a piece of my mind and I told him what's up. And I'm like, yo, I'm glad you're sticking up for me, but I don't know if that's the right move. Like maybe it is. I don't know. But I'll start with what I'm not advocating everybody to do. Let's not like be rude to people. Let's not like, get in people's faces. If you want to have a polite conversation with them about it, that's maybe a good idea. And I don't know, maybe that person was polite and I just didn't interpret it that way. But I don't know how much the comments under certain posts really work, but maybe it does, like at the end of the day, they've assessed this. I don't think that they just made this decision lightly. I think they did kind of weigh what they want to do. And they said, all right, we're put in this position where we have to say no. And I think what they don't know is why people consume my show and also why people consume their product and why people go to the live events. Why do people watch the Pickleball TV? Why do people subscribe to live, to Pickleball TV? Why are they watching the YouTube videos for PPA? All that. They just see the number. Somebody clicked on our stuff and they watched it. So I think the more we could let them know, if it's truthful, that if I had any part to do with that, let them know. I think we just have to like inform them like that. I guess that's my call to action is like, let's inform them of the value that this has in terms of how it would benefit them. Because at the end of the day, we have to convince them. So I don't know. I don't think we need to be like rude about it. Some people had some funny comments like under Connor Pardo's post. I can't help but laugh at stuff like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know how much that helps. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not even saying don't comment under his stuff. But again, just try to think of like, how do we convince them, like, and show them that this would be a good idea. And the more people doing that, the better. So, and there's been tons of people. So shout out to everybody that has said something publicly. Like, I think it does move the needle a bit. So yeah, that's my call to action. I don't know how much like the contact us forums on PPA work. I had some people like, I'm going to write them an email. I'm going to put in like, this. I'm like, okay. I mean, that doesn't hurt, but I think they could push that aside. I think it's the public facing stuff that helps, because then people see the lack of response and how much like under every post, there's people like, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's like at some point you have to say something. Same with Zane. Literally, like Zane put out that message because if you looked at his last video, there was like a few people like saying stuff like, "Can you address the Chris Cali situation?" And so he did, and whatever. And then now they stopped bothering him about it. So I don't even know if it'll change their mind, but maybe it'll push them to put out something publicly and get us one step closer to the truth, which at this point I think is all I could really ask for. So,
Yeah. I have been seeing a hashtag free sorry not sorry going around, so maybe that'll gain some traction, and you never know.
Yeah,
the hashtags sometimes work.
Here we go. Yeah, maybe that's a move. Yeah, free SNS. I've seen that one. Yeah, hashtag free SNS. Everyone's like, you should make shirts. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I would totally sport one. I gotta say, Chris, I do appreciate your level-headedness, the maturity that you're bringing to this. You're obviously much more level-headed about it than I would be if I was in your situation, because I have very little tolerance to the BS that happens in that organization and how it affects people. So big kudos to you for handling it like that. And I really encourage everybody listening or watching right now. I'm guarantee most of you have already subscribed to Sorry Not Sorry, but I definitely encourage you to go out there and check it out. Chris, you also have a Patreon, which I have been a contributing member for a very long time, and I'm happy to continue to contribute. So check out Chris's Patreon. We'll throw links to all that down here below. Any other closing thoughts that you want to leave the audience of millions of people that watch Eddie and Webby with?
Yeah. I'll say I've been put on pause, and things that get put on pause eventually get played again. So I have hope that things can continue as normal. If they don't continue as normal, we just got to switch some things up, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to have a ton of fun with stuff that I put out. It might just look a little different. But yeah, we're going to keep pushing forward, no matter what. So I'll just say, hang in there. Anybody who's been missing out, not all hope is lost. And, we'll make sure that, the thing you've been craving, you'll get that taste back in your mouth. That sounds a little creepy. You know what I mean?
And if things work out, we can thank this podcast for it all working out.
This is what did it. Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Chris, for joining us. Really appreciate it. We're all rooting for you. We know that a lot of the millions and millions of Eddie Webby fans are as well. We hope to see an update from you soon saying that Sorry Not Sorry is not going anywhere, and we're pulling for you. And if there's anything else that we or any of our listeners can do, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask.
Oh, I appreciate you guys letting me come hang out with you. This was fun. I'm glad we could all talk about this, and you guys giving me some space to vent out a little bit. And yeah, so glad we could all relate over the stress that UPA has caused all of us in the past. So yeah, this is fun. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. So, yep. Always good to talk to Chris. Not the best of circumstances that we got a chance to talk to him, but it just bums me out that we're in this situation where an incredible content creator like Chris, just an overall good guy who, I mean, you and I know how many hours and hours go into this stuff, and just to be kind of pushed aside like that without any explanation, it sucks. But his maturity and level-headedness and saying he's willing to put all that behind him to keep going says a lot about him as a person.
Oh, for sure. I'm very impressed with how he's handling this whole thing because, man, it really, really sucks. And I really hope things work out because we've talked about his content numerous times in the past. Like, he is literally one of our favorite things in the pickleball content creation space. I mean, he has brought so many eyeballs to the sport. He has made it so much fun to watch pro pickleball. Because I'll be honest, there was a time where I got burned out to where I didn't even care about watching pro pickleball. But then with his recaps, it was so much fun. And it was like, oh man, I wish I would have seen this so I knew what he was talking about. So it made me tune in more, or at least try to catch the replays and stuff. So it's very valuable. I hope somebody from UPA is tuning in and realizes, and hopefully they're seeing all the comments on social media, how valuable Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball is and his recaps, because man, that's going to be such a shame if that goes away.
And please, if you are watching UPA, don't hold my hatred towards you and the organization against Chris. That's not his fault. That's your fault for how you've treated us over the years. But it's not Chris's fault. So don't punish him.
Exactly.
And actually, don't even punish Webby. You can punish me. I'm fine with that.
Now, if you want to punish me, that's fine too. Just don't punish Chris, because I can't believe how mature and level-headed he is being about this whole thing.
It really is impressive. Guys, again, as I said, go check him out on YouTube. Consider, joining his Patreon. Help support him in any way that you can, as we plan to. But Webby, I really want to know your
Closing thoughts.
So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that sometimes if you get a really easy shot in pickleball, sometimes your confidence outweighs your coordination. We also learned that Archer the dog won the dog lottery. We also learned that the UPA decided to cut ties with Chris Cali of Sorry Not Sorry, but we really hope they come to their senses and realize they done fucked up. But that's going to do it for us here today on episode 105 of Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby.
That's right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We apologize for the delay. We hope to get back on track. I don't think it's going to get back to weekly like we wanted, but we definitely want to try and get these out there on a more frequent basis. We appreciate all the love and support that you give us. Throw comments down below. Let us know, what do you think of the whole situation with Sorry Not Sorry? If you have a meme, go ahead and share that with us as well, because we want to make this interactive, and we appreciate your comments. And on that note, Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.
Well, we're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh, yeah.